Ra's al Ghul and the Lazarus Corporation's war has finally found its way to the doorsteps of Smallville, Kansas. Will Superman and his friends be able to become every bit the heroes this small town needs, or are they running out of time? Well, let's hop into the pages of Absolute Superman issue number 13 and find out what happens next together, shall we? So then, as we join the issue proper, Lazarus military forces are doing everything in their power to positively choke the life out of Smallville. Tanks are rolling down Main Street, soldiers are setting up blockades, and Reaper drones are shooting anyone who tries to escape. In fact, the only reason the town is still standing is because of the armed efforts of its people led by Lana Lang, as well as their guardian angel, their superhero in the form of Superman. It's actually Lois Lane who has the bulk of internal monologue duty this issue, and she actually brings up a rather interesting fact that I have never considered in all my years of reading Superman, and that is that the actual state motto of Kansas is ad astra per aspera, which is of course Latin for to the stars with difficulties. Yeah, when you think about that, it's just a little too perfect that of all the places in the known world that Superman, this alien savior, could have landed, he landed here. And indeed, Superman really is leaving it all on the court when it comes to protecting Smallville. He couldn't protect his home with the Kents, but he's willing to risk everything, including removing all limitations on his suit's AI in order to create a red dust cape to protect it from the Al Ghul's advances, and honestly, it is a really cool image. Now, it's not just Superman rising to the occasion too, we also have Lois and Jimmy in this issue who actually go a long way to start to embrace their journalistic roots that they had in the main universe. Mainly, they've taken control of Smallville's public broadcasting building and are attempting to properly catalog all the horrifying atrocities that Lazarus is committing here on American soil. They don't know if it'll work, they don't know if anyone will actually listen in this messed up world, but they know they have to do something, and honestly, considering how far apart Lois and Jimmy were when all of this began, to see them so thoroughly on the same page truly is a sight. Behold, Lois says that perhaps one of the reasons she hated Jimmy so much when they first met is this gnawing idea that in reality they were both cut from the same cloth. They knew something was wrong with this world, wrong with the lives they were leading, and they had to do something, anything, to try and buck against it. Now, it's only here amidst all this death and chaos does it feel like they may finally have found the people that they were always meant to be. Then, of course, there's still Superman himself, who is fighting a number of challenges on his own, not just the physical stuff. First, Lazarus threw tanks and helicopters at him before eventually sending full-on mechs. But he's also struggling with what it means to be a hero, to be an icon, to have people look up to him with a sense of hope in their eyes when he's been a loner for so very long. Lois thinks that if the stories that her and Jimmy are currently working on could focus on Superman, this alien savior, then maybe more people would listen. But despite it all, despite how much people keep calling him a hero and a savior, Superman just does not see it in himself, though admittedly he does end up showing quite the heroic level of restraint when he actually ends up turning the other cheek to his old mailman, you know, the one who actually ended up dropping a dime on Ma and Pa Kent to Lazarus. Yeah, he's hanging out in the salt mines under the city. Just like everyone else in Smallville, he could have stayed quiet, but he actually wanted to try and apologize to Superman and thank him for all of his hard work. For a second, Kal actually thinks about decking this guy before eventually choosing the much better option of putting him to work. You got good eyes? Well, be a lookout. And indeed, they are going to need all hands on deck because things are most definitely going to get much worse before they get better. Lazarus attacks Smallville in waves. Superman is up for days, trying to push them all back, but sadly, even a Superman has his limits, and it looks like he's very close to reaching them. Then, of course, there is still the question of Brainiac. He's been pretty silent this whole time, which is weird for such a big, important battle, though he does end up making his appearance known, hacking into the Soul System and turning all the red crystals that were protecting Smallville his very own sickly shade of purple. It's after that Talia and Rach are able to break through the hero's lines with the help of the Father Box, which again, hey, have we actually been properly told yet how this thing works in this new universe? I mean, Darkseid made it, and Talia sure treats it like it's some sort of holy relic, so I certainly think there's something going on there. As the comic comes to a close, poor Superman is brought low by Ra's, who enters the city like a warrior king wielding a sword made of pure kryptonite, and demanding that Superman kneel before him. Yeah, I know that's more of a Zod thing. But hey, this universe doesn't seem to have a Zod yet, so I guess Rachel just take that while he's taking everything else. And so that was Absolute Superman issue number 13, everybody, an issue that I thought did a really good job setting things up for what should be a big knockdown, drag-out finale. Lois and Jimmy have grown by leaps and bounds, the people of Smallville have risen to the occasion, and the stage is now perfectly set for Superman to finally grow into the Superman role and take on all the responsibilities that come with being the most powerful, most good, most morally upright hero of them all, and I really enjoy the winding road that Jason Aaron took us on to get us to this moment. This is a Superman who, even when everything is blowing up around him, he's still grappling with the fear of loss, and it makes a lot of sense. In this universe, he was actually old enough to remember losing his parents and his planet. He lost the Kents. He is a man without roots, a man without a country, a super island. But no man, even a Superman, is an island. And we've already seen some very nice artwork of this Kal-El donning a bluer, brighter costume, so I know that that big character beat is just around the corner, and I can't wait until we get there. Overall, I'd give this one another very strong 8 out of 10. Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.